sewing buddies, welcome to another episode of redesigning old three-piece shalwar suit. In this video I have used old shalwar and turned it into new designer trouser. I would say the shalwar fabric was a little bit difficult to handle, but once I start my sewing action, then nothing can stop me to achieve my sewing goal, except my little girl Isma. Well, she doesn't understand anything, so for now I can manage. Without any more chatting, let's start some sewing actions. Before you start doing any action, iron your shalwar and cut the ends of your shalwar or pinch off your shalwar. This trouser is for 7 years old. You can use the same measurement for 8 years old as well. Next, mark your desired length, and here I am cutting on 29 inches. It has a lot of gathering at the front side of the shalwar, so that's why my fabric was a little bit uneven. After that, I ironed my fabric, and I didn't cut in any other shape. I just straightened up the fabric from the bottom. I left the upper part just like that. I didn't do any cutting over there. So from here, I will start marking for the design. One more thing I would like to mention, that if my fabric wasn't enough, so I will add the belt at the end. But if you have enough fabric, then cut on 33 inches. Now my fabric is ready for marking, so we will start marking from the bottom of shalwar, and I'm going to mark on 1.5 inches from the bottom of shalwar, and this is the guideline where I will start marking for the design. From the straight line, I will start marking on 1.5 inches upwards, and I will make 4 points which are 1.5 inches apart from each other. If you want to create more pleats, then go ahead and add more points. Now from the bottom corner, I will start marking on 1 inches upwards, and I will create 4 points again. And these points are going to be 1 inches apart from each other. Then join both the points and make diagonal lines. These are the pleating marks. Make sure you guys do this marking on the right side of your fabric or pretty side of your fabric, so it will be easy for you to sew. I have made the markings at the back for you so you guys can see the marks clearly. Here you can see the right side of my fabric. I ironed on all the marks, so when I will start sewing, so it will be easy for me to handle the fabric. And here is the back side of it. Before you start doing any more stitching action, make sure you cut open from the middle so you can sew the pleat diagonally and there won't be any stress on the fabric. Now you can see how close I am stitching to create pleats. Don't pull the fabric because it would stretch your fabric. So the key point is to be nice and slow with your fabric. Sew all the pleats just like I showed you, and then iron them really well. And this is how the pleats look so far. My trouser slit is 6.5 inches lengthwise. Now we have to finish the slits. We have to make the edges clean. So you guys can use pipe in here. That's totally fine. You guys can leave After doing the piping, you guys can leave this slit open. That's again another option, but I'm going to close from the middle. So I'm going to close from the middle. So from the leftover pieces, I'm cutting out the pieces. The length I took was 8 inches and the width was 3 inches. We need 2 pieces for a one slit, and the one piece is going to finish the edges or the sides of the slit, and the second piece of fabric will be using for joining those slits together. So first is finishing up all the slit seams, and I just put the fabric underneath the slit and then start stitching on top of it. Pay attention to your pleats. Make sure they all are on one side. They're facing the same direction. Just have a closer look and you would understand how I am finishing off the slit seams. Once you are done, just cut the fabric from the middle and turn it into another side and make a stitch. I'm turning and closing my slits at the same time. If you can do that, just go ahead and do just like what I'm showing. If you cannot do that, then just do one step at a time. This is again very important that you have to make sure all the pleats are matching to each other. The pleats should be even, not uneven. And as you can see, all the pleats are fine and perfectly matching to each other. After that, I will hand sew the loose fabric at the back of the trouser, cut any extra fabric, and once you are done, then you can put fancy buttons, beads, or tassels. I have sewn the tassels and I will put half pearls on top of the tassels to give them a finished look. You can sew the buttons too, or beads, whatever you like, to finish off this raw look. Now I will start marking for the trouser. So first straighten up the fabric, then mark on 11 inches widthwise, and if you want to take more, you can take 12 or 12 and a half inches. Otherwise it would be too much bulky, and we want our trouser to little bit straight. Length of the crotch is 9 inches because I will be attaching the belt of 2.5 inches. So that if you're taking a belt within the fabric, then make sure you have 2 inches extra for the belt. Now I will mark on 2 inches outside of the straight line, and here I will be making the mark for the crotch, and here I will cut the crotch. Next step is to start marking for the fittings, and from the folded side I will mark on 5 inches, and from the bottom mark I will mark 7 inches upwards, and here I will mark on 6 inches for the fittings, and then I will join all the markings together. The reason why I'm marking different because I want um, little fitted trouser, so that's why these are this different markings. Now you have to remember this is a stitching mark. Take half an inch extra and cut it. For stitching, always start from the bottom because we have to take care of our pleats, And then first double fold the bottom fabric and sew it. I am attaching the lace as well. Then I will start matching all the pleats, pin them if necessary, then sew your trouser. For the belt, take 6 inches long fabric, and then the width I will be taking is 20 inches, or you can take up to 21 inches. Otherwise it would be too much fabric for your child to handle. Sew the belt and trouser together and attach 2 inches wide elastic, which is best for trousers. I am using an old belt from the Shalwar, but you really don't have to do it. This is a tricky part, and if you're an expert in sewing, then definitely it would be easy for you. I took 3 inches long fabric, which has 2 inches elastic already attached. I have, as you can see, I have already finished up all the design from the bottom of the trouser. Now what I will be doing, I will mark 4 sides on the belt, and I will pin it, and I'm going to sew it, and also doing the gatherings on the trousers as well. You have to keep one thing in your mind, that the old Shalwar belt fabric already has gatherings going on, so you have to keep that in mind. That's why it's a little bit tricky. If you're a beginner, then I would suggest you to just skip this part. Now I will mark on the 4 sides of the belt and then pin them together, and then I will sew them together, and make sure you have a top stitch to secure it. And this is the final transformation, and I've already finished the belt. As you can see, it looks fine because it would be hidden anyways. And as you can see, the pincha design is fine, and all the pleats are matching to each other. They're synchronizing. Also, I would like to mention one thing. If you want to see how my daughter wore this and how it looks, then you have to check out my Instagram. I will post the pictures over there, and please do let me know, how do you like this one. And until next time, take care you all, and please show some sewing actions on my Instagram at styleoblender. Bye now.